International Women's Day is celebrated annually on March 8th by millions worldwide. The widespread observance of this day highlights its global significance. Despite its prominence, the historical origins of this day remain largely unknown. Many are unaware of how International Women's Day initially began. The reasons behind its global expansion are also not widely understood. The early 20th century was marked by significant social and economic upheaval. This era saw rapid industrialization transforming societies and economies. Organized labor movements emerged in response to these changes. These movements aimed to address harsh working conditions, low wages, and long hours. Women, in particular, faced additional discrimination within the workforce. Women workers were predominantly employed in industries like textiles and garment manufacturing. These sectors were characterized by particularly exploitative working conditions for women. Women were routinely paid less than men, even when performing identical work. Work environments were often unsafe, posing significant risks to their health and well-being. Legal protections for these women were minimal, leaving them vulnerable to abuse. These harsh realities fueled a growing collective desire among women workers for fundamental change. Across Europe and the United States, women's rights movements gained significant momentum. These movements emerged parallel to ongoing labor struggles, highlighting a period of social change. Suffragists were central figures, actively campaigning for women's right to vote. They viewed political enfranchisement as a critical prerequisite for achieving broader equality. The right to vote was seen as a fundamental step towards recognizing women's full citizenship. The labor movement and women's suffrage were two significant social currents. These two movements frequently intersected, sharing common goals and participants. Many women active in labor activism also advocated for women's political rights. They recognized the inherent connection between economic justice and political power. These interconnected goals drove their dual efforts for societal change and equality. On the 28th of February 1909, a significant event unfolded in the United States. The Socialist Party of America organized the inaugural National Women's Day. This day was established to commemorate the 1908 garment workers' strike in New York. During this strike, women protested against oppressive working conditions. National Women's Day honored their struggle and advocacy for better rights. The initial observance in the U.S. was a direct response to the demands of working women. These women sought better pay for their labor. They also advocated for shorter working hours. A key demand was the right to join and form unions. This movement brought specific grievances of female laborers to national attention. The concept of a Woman's Day rapidly gained traction. It resonated particularly strongly with international socialist movements. Socialists were deeply committed to the struggle of the working class. They viewed women's emancipation as a crucial component. This emancipation was integral to their broader revolutionary objectives. Thus, Women's Day became intertwined with socialist ideals of equality. In 1910, the Second International Conference of Working Women convened in Copenhagen. Clara Zetkin, a prominent German socialist, presented a significant proposal at this conference. She advocated for the establishment of an annual International Women's Day. The objective was to unify women globally in their pursuit of fundamental rights. Specifically, the initiative aimed to advance suffrage and improve workers' rights for women worldwide. Clara Zetkin envisioned an International Women's Day for global solidarity among women. This day aimed to collectively demand women's rights on a worldwide scale. It sought to press for significant social and economic justice for women. Her proposal gained unanimous approval from over 100 women from 17 countries at the conference. The inaugural International Women's Day was observed on the 19th of March, 1911. This historic event took place simultaneously in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland. Massive demonstrations characterized the day's proceedings across these nations. Key demands included women's right to work and access to vocational training. A central focus was the elimination of discrimination in employment practices. International Women's Day initially lacked a fixed date for its observance. In its early years, the date shifted, occurring on various days in late February and early March. The specific date of March 8th was not yet universally established. This variability reflected the nascent stage of its global coordination and recognition. A pivotal moment in the establishment of March 8th occurred in Russia. On the 8th of March 1917, women textile workers in Petrograd initiated a massive strike. This demonstration, occurring on February 23rd by the Julian calendar, was significant. The women demanded bread and peace, marking a key event for women's rights. A protest by Russian women workers served as a pivotal moment in history. This event is widely recognized as the catalyst for the February Revolution. The revolution ultimately led to the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II. Their courageous collective action demonstrated the immense power of female activism. A women's strike began, advocating for significant societal changes. 4 days later, the Tsar abdicated, marking a pivotal political shift. The provisional government subsequently granted women the right to vote. This direct link solidified the March 8th protests' significance in revolutionary history. Following the Russian Revolution, a significant decision was made regarding women's rights. In 1921, the Communist International officially proclaimed March 8th as International Women's Day. This date honored women's pivotal role in the Petrograd protests. The decree provided a fixed date and strong ideological backing for the observance. Throughout the 20th century, International Women's Day gained prominence. Its celebration was particularly notable during the Cold War era. The day was predominantly observed in socialist and communist countries. It served as a significant symbol of women's liberation. This symbolism was deeply embedded within the socialist framework of these nations. Initially celebrated within the socialist bloc, the holiday's influence began to expand globally. It gained significant traction with feminist movements in Western countries during the 1960s and 1970s. These movements revitalized the holiday's core message and purpose. The focus shifted towards broader issues of gender equality and women's rights worldwide. International Women's Day is a global observance celebrating women's achievements. In 1975, the United Nations officially recognized this significant day. The UN designated March 8th as the official date for its annual observance. This endorsement provided International Women's Day with global legitimacy. It encouraged wider observance and participation by UN member states worldwide. International Women's Day originated as a political protest for women's rights. The United Nations recognition significantly transformed the holiday's focus. It evolved into a broader celebration of women's achievements globally. The day now serves as a call for continued progress towards gender equality. This recognition amplified its message and global impact. International Women's Day is celebrated globally, showcasing diverse cultural and political interpretations. In some nations, it is recognized as a public holiday, often carrying significant political implications. These observances frequently involve discussions on women's rights, equality, and social justice. Conversely, other regions mark the day with celebrations, honoring women through gifts and floral tributes. Holiday celebrations exhibit significant variation across different cultures and regions. These diverse celebrations reflect the complex evolution of the holiday over time. Initially, many holidays were rooted in specific labor or political struggles. However, they adapt to contemporary concerns and integrate into new cultural contexts. The holiday highlights persistent disparities and challenges faced by women globally. It serves as an annual reminder that the fight for full gender equality is ongoing. The observance underscores the need for continued effort and advocacy. It encourages reflection on progress made and action for future advancements. International Women's Day demonstrates the impact of grassroots movements. It highlights the power of international solidarity in achieving social change. The day illustrates how collective action can transform specific grievances. These grievances are then elevated into universal demands for equality and justice. Understanding history provides crucial insights into the evolution and transformation of societies over time. Historical analysis reveals patterns of societal development, including political, economic, and cultural shifts. It allows us to examine the causes and consequences of past events that shaped current social structures. By studying historical precedents, we can identify drivers of change, such as technological innovation or conflict. This knowledge helps in comprehending how different factors interact to produce societal transformations. Ultimately, historical understanding is essential for predicting future trends and navigating ongoing societal changes.